Welcome to this edition of SKNIS Week in Review. The Week in Review highlights the top stories of the work of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis for the past week. Let's get you caught up on some of the highlights for the week of August 25th to 31st. Establishing a labor code is priority for government. New recruits to bolster police forces' security efforts. ROC Taiwan commits to further strengthen diplomatic ties with St. Kitts and Nevis. And renewable energy will create job opportunities in the Federation. I am your presenter, Sharima Matthew. Workers in St. Kitts and Nevis can expect to benefit from changes in legislation governing work that have been identified as a priority for labor authorities. This was the main outcome of a staff development day for officials from the Departments of Labor in St. Kitts and in Nevis, held on Friday, August 25th, at the conference room of the Nevis Disaster Management Department under the theme Improving Efficiency in Service Delivery. Permanent Secretary in the Department of Labor in St. Kitts, Ron Dublin Collins, said the officers discussed a number of matters related to improving service to the public, including professionalism in the workplace, decreasing the response time to complaints, and other protocols and procedures governing their actions.
We have begun the process where we are looking at legislative reform. The formation of a labor code, a process that started some time now and it went dormant. We have revived that, and by November of this year, we have had the commitment of the tripartite unit, that is the Chamber of Industry and Commerce, the union and government, that we will have that in place for November, and then we can begin the consultative process with the general public, which will definitely engage in a meaningful and productive way on this particular matter.
The Permanent Secretary said that the Labor Code must meet the changing needs of the working environment in the Federation and adequately address concerns of employers and employees. The Royal St. Christopher and the Nevis Police Force, RSCNPF, is continuing its recruit efforts in order to support its many security operations aimed at maintaining peaceful communities. Commissioner of Police Ian Quealy disclosed that in the last 6 months, there had been an increased focus on attracting new persons to the force. Individuals with strong academic and technical backgrounds and good moral character are being targeted. The efforts so far have resulted in the recruitment of 34 persons locally, a class that is currently in training. To date, they have completed half of the syllabus and for the last 2 months have been an integral part of the ongoing crime prevention activity dubbed Operation Mid-Sweep, according to Commissioner Quealy. The continuing recruitment efforts have also led the RSCNPF to expand their efforts regionally in order to acquire the numbers necessary to support all of the operations. To date, they have enlisted 45 persons from St. Vincent and the Grenadines for an additional class that will commence training before the end of this year. Recruitment and capacity building through training have been priorities within the Service Improvement Directorate, which is led by Deputy Commissioner of Police Hilroy Brandy. He said that 30 of those recruits arrived in the Federation on Wednesday, August 30th.
We had a shortage of officers in the organization, and we went regionally, locally and regionally, do advertisement. And as a result, we recently visited St. Vincent, did some interviews, do eye detect, the polygraphs, and yesterday was the results. 30 persons came to St. Kitts, and we are continuing the process, medicals, and to see how much of those 30 we can sworn in to be officers of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. Presently, we are still doing advertisement in trying to attract the brightest and the best to our organization. So persons out there who still have interest and still want to be a member of this noble organization are still eligible to apply to the Force Personnel Officer.
Deputy Commissioner of Police Hilroy Brandy. Stay together, build together, I need love and protection, crime is everyone's business, and guns don't kill people, people do, were some of the messages being displayed by more than 200 young people as they marched through Bastille on Friday, August 25th, showcasing the value of the recently concluded 2017 Police Summer Youth Camp. The march was the climax of the inaugural activity that was held at the Dr. William Connell Primary School from August 14th to 27th. The camp was designed to bridge the gap between the community and the police and to provide positive guidance to young people. Malik Queely, a 12-year-old participant from Buckley's, said that the camp was cool as he got to make new friends and learnt about the importance of being loving and respectful. He said that the demonstration with the canine officer, Castor, was an eye-opener.
The police dog are protective, and if they have any drugs, they can smell. I want to say to the police, thank you, and I hope they have it next year.
Another participant, Gabriella Swanston, 14 of Molyneux, stated that she was excited to attend the daily sessions, which included topics about peer pressure, bullying, sexual abuse, children's rights, and more. The young woman admitted that prior to the camp, she didn't care much for police officers, but now she has a completely new perspective. Activities for the camp concluded on Sunday with a service at the Christian Life Assembly Church at Bladens. After close to 34 years of mutually beneficial relations, the government of the Republic of China Taiwan has signaled its intention to further cement its diplomatic relationship with the government and people of St. Kitts and Nevis. That was the message delivered by Taiwan's Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Jose Maria Leo, on behalf of Taiwan's President, Her Excellency Dr. Tsai Ing-wen, when he recently met with Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris at government headquarters. Vice Minister Leo said his government's plan to further deepen its bilateral relations with St. Kitts and Nevis will be coordinated through 3 specified areas, namely 1. The purchasing of products produced here in the Federation once these products are standardized and meet all of Taiwan's sanitary regulations. 2. Encouraging Taiwanese enterprises to seek investment opportunities that are available in St. Kitts and Nevis. And 3. Through the provision of assistance towards the completion of infrastructure projects. Prime Minister Harris expressed his profound gratitude to the Taiwanese government for its continued partnership with St. Kitts and Nevis as he reflected on the long-standing relationship shared between both nations.
You were the first among the world body of near 200 countries with which St. Kitts and Nevis established diplomatic relations. That makes the relationship extremely special. Today, of all those countries with whom Taiwan had established diplomatic relationships, St. Kitts and Nevis and St. Vincent are the 2 that remain in the Caribbean. St. Kitts, of course, has had this long, unbroken relationship with Taiwan, and we hope for you this relationship then is as treasured and as special as it is for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Prime Minister Harris noted that St. Kitts and Nevis has and will continue to be a sincere ally of the Republic of China Taiwan. St. Kitts and Nevis and the Republic of China Taiwan established diplomatic relations on September 23, 1983. Bertil Brown, Director of the Energy Unit in the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, was the special guest on Working for You on Wednesday, August 30th. The discussion surrounded a number of important topics, including renewable energy, such as geothermal, solar, wind and waste to energy in the country. The legal framework and policies that are being put in place for renewable energy were also discussed. He said that there are many job opportunities within the sector, and government is ensuring that persons are trained to take up the new jobs.
The engineering program at CFBC has a heavy component on renewable energy.
Okay.
So training is going on. There are lots of workshops and courses and so forth.
Additionally, a submission was recently made to the Energy and Climate Partnership of the Americas, ECPA, for human resource capacity building in geothermal energy. Mr. Brown said additions will continue to be made to ensure nationals can capitalize on this expanding sector. Although climate change has its disadvantages, It can also be used as an opportunity for small island developing states, SIDS, especially St. Kitts and Nevis, in a number of ways, said representatives from the Ministry of Tourism Assistant Secretary Dianelle Taylor-Williams and Annette Esquibel, Sustainable Tourism Coordinator.
It's an opportunity to rethink the traditional tourism business model. Instead of only relying on resorts and sun and sea and sand, you have the opportunity to really diversify your tourism products and make more eco-tours, more rainforest focus, or even have philanthropy tourism, where there are multiple examples of this around the world. But one idea that we were bouncing around is, coral regeneration. If we could start a program where tourists actually came in and helped us do the coral regeneration program as part of their tourism experience, that would be really unique, really beneficial, and it would put St. Kitts on the map in a totally different realm than we are right now.
Adding to the brilliant idea of coral regeneration, Mrs. Taylor-Williams shared similar sentiments, noting that it can indeed prove beneficial to the Federation.
With the coral regeneration, it also impacts livelihood, because when you have the coral reefs, it means more fish. That means we get to eat fish, and lobsters will grow. Visitors come a lot for lobsters and stuff like that. We also have the sargassum seaweed situation, where that's an opportunity for enterprise in terms of creating a new business.
Assistant Secretary Dianelle Taylor-Williams. A recently established anti-gang task force, AGTF, is already yielding results in its efforts to disrupt and dismantle gangs in the Federation, according to the Commissioner of Police, Ian Quealy. The AGTF is a partnership between the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, RSCNPF, the St. Kitts Defence Force, and Her Majesty's Customs and Excise Department, and is in keeping with the goals and objectives of the 6-point plan of the RSCNPF. Specifically, the part that speaks to targeted operations and collaborative engagements among agencies.
We've recently stood up a unit dedicated to addressing the challenges of gangs within our communities. That unit is called the AntiGang Task Force. And that gang is comprised of officers from the police, the customs, and the defense force. This multi-agency team is tasked with the surveillance and disruption of these gangs and their activities.
He thanked all respective stakeholders for their unwavering support to the RSCNPF and for a strong partnership. Commissioner Quealy added that once the police force was able to disrupt and displace gangs, it would then be important to reintegrate the former gang members into the community. St. Kitts and Nevis's Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, interacted with and shared words of inspiration and encouragement with the children and facilitators of the Malfield Explorers Youth Club during one of the club's regular meetings at the Phillips Village Hart Court on Saturday, August 27th. The club, founded by Inspector Rosemary Isles Joseph, was formed under the umbrella of the Ministry of National Security's Social Intervention Program, which is part of the Ministry's broader crime prevention strategy geared towards strengthening character and promoting positive behaviors in young people. Addressing the youth and parents, Prime Minister Harris said it was important that the first club of this nature was formed in the Molyneux Phillips community, as the area has had its share of difficulties and challenges and shootings in past times. He challenged the club members to be shining examples to their peers in their respective communities.
I want all of you, to be the best that you can. In your class, we want you to be the best student that you can. We want you to show discipline, attentiveness in the classes, so that you can be a better student at the end of the day. We hope that through this exercise of coming together, you are learning that it is quite easy to live with and to love one another, especially those in your community.
Prime Minister Harris commended the parents for their support of the club and its activities. He also encouraged them to accompany their children as often as possible to club events to show and signal to the children that this is an important initiative. The Malfield Explorers Youth Club has on record a membership of approximately 120 young persons between the ages of 5 to 17 years, mainly from the Phillips and Molyneux area. Thanks for viewing SKNIS Week in Review. I am Sherima Matthew. See you next week as we continue to update you, the general public, on what's happening in and around the Federation.